Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Guys, welcome back to another episode. Oh, sorry, cut that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan, sahlan, marhabub. Cut that again. Marhabub.
Double cut.
Double cut. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan, marhaban bikum. إلى المجلس الجديد تحت الشجرة الرمان. أنا ضيوفكم اسمي عتيق ومعي اليوم حافظ محمد مولانا حافظ مولانا إسحاق ما شاء الله والطالب العلم ما شاء الله
اسمي Ameen.
ما شاء الله my brother.
How you doing? You okay?
Alhamdulillah. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Under the Pomegranate Tree. I'm your host, Brother Ateiq, and mashallah, today I am joined with Maulana Ishak, mashallah, soon to be Hafiz, inshallah. We'll get him back on. Don't do too much nazar on him in today's episode. And mashallah, we have our trusted cameraman and all things to do with media and IT, Brother Ameen, mashallah. What's going on, boys?
Nothing, man. Just chilling. Just read Darul Salah.
Yeah. You guys, mashallah, are doing the full Ramadan Iţtikāf, yeah?
Yeah, not like as serious as last year, but yeah, somewhat.
Mashallah. So it's like a nafl Iţtikāf you're doing?
Yeah, so this one a bit more like we've been out 3 times. Last year was straightforward, like no. I think, did I leave once for a hospital appointment last year?
Yeah,
I think once hospital appointment. So that's like,
Yeah.
but besides that, we didn't leave once. So we locked it. So last year we challenged ourselves. This year was more just making the most of Ramadan again.
Mashallah.
That's it.
I bet you guys are doing like lots and lots of du'as this time round.
Yeah.
So yeah, Allah, please make this the last full Ramadan Iṭtikāf. Hopefully by next year we gotta wipe them at home. You get me?
We
So we
haven't,
don't
you know,
need to
the
come.
vibe is so sick because we got 3 guys now, but the
Yeah.
vibe is so nice that I'm there like, yeah, we need to get like 10 man up next
Yeah,
next
we're
time.
hoping next year.
Like,
that
next year, like if we
increases
get like 5-6 man to do it, it's
the
such a
active,
vibe.
it's
Like,
like,
Mashallah,
if
mashallah.
you don't want to join us next year, 30-day Iṭtikāf.
Yeah, you know, Darul Ilm Ramadan's got a next vibe in it.
Mm,
Mashallah, it's
different,
just. Now, I love Darul Ilm any time of the year, right? For me, it's like home. But Ramadan, everything just feels a lot better, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, those little iggly niggly things that you get, those little waswasas that you get outside of Ramadan, even they are now gone in this month. And mashallah, it just feels so peaceful and nice. And especially the last 10 days, bro, it be popping here, man. Alhamdulillah. Everybody be coming down, people from all over the world. So inshallah, yeah, guys, inshallah, if you're free, well, this episode's going to be coming out this Friday, inshallah. So Ramadan in Darul Ilm Birmingham is not to be missed. Make sure you pop down, inshallah, and check us out, especially in the last 10 days. Mufti Saab says something very important earlier on, and he says, you know, Ramadan's like a guest in it. It comes in it, and before you know it, it's gone. So many a times Ramadan comes and Ramadan goes, and people don't really make the most of it. So we got to be conscious that in the last 10 days we got to step it up a bit, man. So how do you guys like spend your day and that? What's going on?
So, oh yeah, so like we're not doing it as serious. He goes to, you're doing hifz, innit? So he does.
so in the morning, the main reason that we didn't do a full,
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is because I go every morning to a Sufan,
Yeah, so he's doing
first
his-
class.
Okay, mashallah.
And so after I come back from that, I think Ameen sleeps till like Dhuhr.
Mhm.
Then after Dhuhr, he's working.
Or even before like that, I wake up like an hour before Zohar and then I start working. And then, but most of the time, we just run through, the day runs quick now because
Yeah.
you know the salahs are all in between. And then most of the time, I don't know it's Tarawih time. Then after Tarawih, we chill for a bit. And then what happens in the night? Just
The main time is the night.
Yeah,
And
main
that's when
time.
we stay up till like at least 1 or 2.
Doing what?
Doing what?
well, no, we'll stay up till like 12. Yeah. It depends on what time we have suhoor. But we do wake up
What
and
happens
do.
in Vegas?
Nah, you don't want to say everything that happens. Like you don't want to like say.
you don't want to
only-
expose our good deeds.
Like,
innit?
you don't wanna expose
Okay,
our-
Let's keep to
mashallah,
ourselves,
mashallah, ibadah, you get
Yeah, so-
ibadah, a run, mashallah.
You want to be like, yeah, we're bopping heads and that.
Allah,
Allah. It's a raven, yeah. Zikr Majlis is raven, yeah. But no,
mashallah.
alhamdulillah.
No, it's good, man. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. May Allah
Yeah,
subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability, you know, to spend as much time in the masjid. Because this world is full of fitna, man. This world is full of like corruption, and everywhere you go, man, the dunya is giving you dawah. You get me? Everywhere you go, the dunya is giving you dawah, a billboard here or a sale on over here, or anything, and it's like it's good to just sort of disconnect in it and just come inside the masjid and obviously get focused, man. I wish at your age I was that mashallah disciplined to spend this time in. And you got mashallah Hafiz Ubaid with you as well from Luton, and mashallah he's got a lovely voice in it. Subhanallah, man. And his sabaks mashallah pakka as well, isn't it? Get me?
He says no boys banging,
Yeah.
At some point.
Or
It's good to have a guy like that because sometimes in the night, if you want to lock in, then you say, yo, babe, let's do Salah, quick time, do two rakats.
some qiyamul layl.
Yeah, bangs, man. You hear his voice here, you're just like.
You want that, innit? You want that.
khushu,
You want somebody with a nice voice as well, leading you in salah. You get me?
Makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. You can sort of concentrate in the emotion there, the khushu and khudu. Like I've been seeing some taraweehs, people have been posting it up on the social medias and that. And bro, some of these guys are like Qari Ferraris, bro. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Rahman Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? Allahu Akbar. You get me? That one time, hey bro, relax a bit, man. Chill out. These guys, they're taking the time out, they're coming in. Then you got the other side of it, where some people are complaining our Imam Sabri is too slow. It's hard to find a masjid that's got the right balance where they're not too slow, where man's are clock watching, thinking I got to get up for work in the morning, and you don't want to be too fast where you've come and you've gone without even sort of getting any sort of spiritual benefit. And I think mashallah at Darul you got a nice balance, man. You got Qari Sahib coming in, you get me Sheikh Sudais in that style, you get me coming like, whoa, all right, you lock in, you get me, and then mashallah you got Hafiz Ubaid that comes in, then mashallah you've got Sheikh Ishak, mashallah, popping in fresh, you get me, fresh door and that, and then mashallah you got Hafiz Arif, yeah. Mashallah, man, good stuff. So you guys have been like obviously mollycoddled and cocooned in. Have you guys been paying attention to what's going on in the world?
I have been a bit. It's harder with your phone. You have. Bro, do you know compared to last time? I'm using my phone a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. It's because you're a lot more free.
Yeah. So last time it was only me on the Darul and stuff. I had no time. So this time I have my phone. But the good thing is we're doing way more ibadat than last time as well. So it's like a balance. But yeah, man, should we address the elephant in the room?
Go for it, man. What's your take on what's going on in the world, man?
What's my take on it? I don't really know what to say. I'm just kind of watching it at the moment. And obviously prayers are with all the Muslims who are suffering, regardless. But what can you do more than watch right now? No, with the Palestinians you could do something on it. Right now, you tell us, Sheikh, what's...
So obviously the things that's going on is the fact that America and Israel have gone to war with Iran, right? And people don't know how to react. People don't know, what's going on. Iran are Shias. Should we be, backing their case? But then at the same time, Israel and America, they got their own Zionist regime going on.
Yeah.
Which is the lesser of the two evils, and which one do we back? But if you're asking me, hold on, let me just put my Mufti cap on. Yeah, alhamdulillah. If you're asking me like a serious question, like how should we react? I don't know, Maulana, what do you think?
So you know how Mufti mentioned today in Tafsir, like all these big malhamas coming.
Yeah.
I feel like it is a big kind of opener. We should see it as a thing that a lot more wars are gonna be coming up. After this one starting off here, and we're gonna see a lot more coming before the Dajjal comes. So like how we should take it is that it should be an eye opener for us that we should definitely start worshipping Allah more, getting closer to Allah. In terms of how to take it, politically, I don't think I should.
Masha is a very beautiful point that you put up. You gave me that this isn't something new. This is something that was prophesied over 1447 years ago. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us what's going to happen. The malhama, there's going to be a lot more wars. There's going to be a lot more unrest in the world, and this is a sign of the end of times. And Dajjal's appearance is imminent. You know, it could happen any time now. All the minor signs have come to pass, and we're just waiting now for these major ones. And from the major signs, one of the first ones is going to be the appearance of, you know, Dajjal. And you're right, man. We gotta, obviously, we don't want to get too engrossed into the politics behind it all, but we gotta understand, like, you know, what is our role to play and how can we get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use this as an opportunity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to take these signs as an opportunity to get closer to Him. And to be honest with you, politically, I'm not that much clued up either when it comes to like what's going on, who's at fault, and this, that, and the other, because I just think to myself, this was already prophesied. But in regards to how I believe that we should react and what our stance should be, I think I'm just glad that, you know, this year, as part of the iftā program, we did this book called Al-Muslimu fi Mawatini Uruba. And inside that book, it basically teaches us that how do Muslims in a Muslim state treat non-Muslims, zimmis, right? And then it also says about how a Muslim living in a non-Muslim state should behave and conduct themselves. And it comes down to, I mean, my studies are still ongoing, and there's better people to obviously talk about this. We have our respected Mufti Saab, and all the other teachers over here are far more learned than myself. But my take on it is it comes down to probably three principles. Principle number one is we derive from the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, you know, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. I mean, that we should encourage and we should assist one another in righteousness and piety, and we should not assist in sin and, you know, corruption, right? So this is the main principle. It doesn't matter whether a person is a Muslim or non-Muslim, whether a person is a Shia or a Sunni, right? If you see somebody doing good as a Muslim, if somebody is doing something righteous, then we should encourage that person to do it, and we should assist them in doing it. For example, you got people in the world now who are campaigning for, you know, cleaner air zones, right? So as a Muslim, we want to be conscientious of our environment. So if there's even if there's a non-Muslim there, or somebody who's, you know, their creed is different to ours, their belief system is different to ours, but they are campaigning for something which is good for the betterment of mankind and the betterment of society, we need to help them. You know, this is a command in the Quran. Ta'awanu alal birri wat taqwa. Right? So we do that. And at the same time, if you see somebody and they're doing evil, even if he's a Muslim, right? Even if he's a family member, even if it's somebody from our own fraternity, our own ustads even, and if you see them and they're doing something wrong, then we can't assist them in the وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. You should not assist people in committing sins or injustice or anything like that. So this is our take on it. Yes, we disagree with what the, you know, because there are Sunnis in Iran as well, but majority of Iran is a Shia, it is a Shia state. So we differ in opinion with them when it comes to Aqidah issues, right? We disagree with them when it comes to theological issues, right? And sectarian issues. But we still don't believe that they should be, you know, bombed and killed and whatnot. Look, we just heard the other day, like, America dropped a bomb on a girls' school.
Yeah, 160 girls confirmed.
160 girls confirmed who have been killed. So even though we don't agree with them philosophically, right?
That's wrong.
We still say that no, this is wrong. This war that this Zionist regime has started is an illegal war. So we say that it shouldn't be happening. So then from this Quranic ayah, there's two other principles which is derived, and Maulana Sahib will know. You got one which is called al-wala and al-wala wal-bara. So al-wala and bara is basically loyalty and disavowalment. So al-wala means to be loyal to somebody who's of the same creed as you, same belief system as you, somebody who wants to do good for mankind. You should show loyalty to them. And bara is basically disassociation. When somebody is doing something wrong, somebody is causing corruption, then we disassociate with them. Right? So when we see that somebody is trying to do something good, right, we should be loyal to them. Right? So we're not saying that now all of a sudden we are loyal to Iran, but we are always going to be loyal to saving innocent people.
Mhm.
We are always going to be loyal to the fact that, look, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing that, right? And we're going to say that, these people deserve justice. These people deserve peace, just like we did in the Palestine scenario.
Mhm.
I know we haven't spoken about it much on this episode because we just trying to find the right person to come on. But look what happened in Palestine. People say, it started on October the 7th. It never. It started way before that. In 1947, the UN passed a law that we're gonna partition off Palestine now to give Israel their state. And then from 1948, then that's when the main war started. And since 1948, Palestine and the Palestinian people have been driven from their homes and mercilessly killed and slaughtered. We have been living in a modern day Holocaust. Like right now, obviously, I'm not condoning what the Holocaust was back then, but you see how when people think about the Holocaust then, right? Or when people think about, the genocide and the apartheid regime that happened in South Africa, people think, yo, how was that possible? How did they do that? If I was there at that time, I would have campaigned against it, I would have done it. But my brothers, we're living in that same situation now. If you want to know how you would have behaved at the time of the Holocaust or the time of apartheid South Africa, or at the time of, when India was being partitioned off and it was under the control of the English, right? This is how you would be reacting. You'll still be scrolling up and down and laughing and dancing on TikTok. Yeah, you'll still be chilling this, that, and the other. You wouldn't be paying attention to that. So life obviously goes on. We obviously have to continue to work, continue to socialize, continue to try and make the best of our lives. But we as Muslims have to be conscientious of what's happening inside the world. So wala and bara, it basically means that be loyal to what your faith is telling you, dictating to you, what your religion is dictating to you, and disassociate yourself with anything which is un-Islamic. So Islam says that, you should protect people, you should honor people. So that was the second point, right? Wala and bara. And I reckon the third point is going to be, and, Mufti Tawseer Mian, he mentioned this, quite a lot in his durus as well, that jalbul maslaha wa daf'ul mafsada. Which is cooperating in good and not cooperating in evil. So anything which is a maslaha, anything which is for the betterment of people, right? Anything that brings goodness, we should cooperate in that. We should work towards that. And anything that is a mafsada, anything which is a fitna, anything which is evil and bad, we should try our best to remove that. Daf'ul mafsada, we should remove it. So we can see now that maslaha is peace. We can see now that in all the different parts of the world, the best type of maslaha that we can have is, obviously world peace. So we as Muslims should campaign for that. We have to be vocal about that. If somebody asks us, we can't just, shy away and say, sorry, no comment. You know what I mean? We should say, look, it's wrong. You just killed, how many was it, 160 girls. This is wrong. Because if you don't, then you're just like those people who were quiet back then in apartheid South Africa, through the Holocaust and through India, right? And we want to be brave enough to say, listen, yeah, you can shut down my account. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want, but this is right. And Daf'ul Mafsada is saying, look, we're not going to be a part of it. We're not going to allow this to happen. And what we need to do here locally is we've got these elections coming up, right?
Yeah.
So in these elections, we need to think, conscientiously, and we need to think that, okay, which MP and which councillor is going to be the best, number one, to show our loyalty to and give our allegiance to. Well, not in allegiance like the case of like a Khalifa, no, but just local type of loyalty and local affiliation. And who do we believe that can bring the most benefit to our communities and remove the most amount of harm when it comes to, say, for example, like this rubbish pandemic that we're in Birmingham right now, right? Who's going to come in and clean our streets, and who's going to just come in and line their own pockets? So we've got to be thinking very conscientiously. So, and this is every Muslim's responsibility. It's not just, the imams of the masjids. It's not just the, the alims and the muftis. To be every single one of the Muslims, we need to know, these three key principles. You know what I mean? To associate and to cooperate when it comes to piety and righteousness, and disassociate when it comes to evil and sinning. To show loyalty where it's needed when it comes to our faith, right? And show disassociation publicly when we see something going wrong. And number three, try to encourage, the most amount of maslahah, the most amount of goodness, and try to oppose, any type of fitna and fasad. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ told us in the hadith. And man ra'a minkum, what's the hadith? Man ra'a minkum. What's the hadith, man? Whosoever amongst you sees evil action, من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيدي فإن لم يستطع فبلساني فإن لم يستطع فبقلبي أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. That any one of you who sees any evil doings, right, as a Muslim, the first protocol is stop it with your hands. You know what I mean? And if you can't stop it with your hands, then at least be vocal about it. At least turn around and say, listen, what you're doing is wrong. You hear me? Don't vote for him. Don't do this, do that. You hear me? But know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't be one of those guys that, just starts commenting on everything, you know what I mean? And throwing your own 50 pence in. Make sure that you've got the decision or what you're calling to is grounded in something true. That you're a part of you're affiliated with a madrasa, with a sheikh, or something that, because keeping your moral compass in check. Right? And then, of course, if you can't do it with your mouth either, فَبِقَلْبِ, at least, in your heart, you should say, no, this isn't right, man. I should stay away from these types of people. Like this joker, who is this Mehdi guy? Where is he? Is he
I don't know, I'm not
this guy, man, who's
someone claiming to be Mehdi again?
well, he's in London, man.
Oh, there's a Mehdi in London.
The one who wears a beanie hat and that.
I don't know.
You not seen him?
No, but the Mehdi in London is funny, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a Mehdi in London now. He wears his beanie hat. I'm sure he's in London, man. Right?
I don't know, man.
And I see him on social media. You get me? And he's got all these people following him. And I look at this guy and I'm thinking, this guy deserves a slap. You get me? Biyadi. You get me? He deserves the first level. You get me? But obviously, he's over there. I'm over here. You know what I mean? So I'm just using my tongue. Boy, you see this guy in the beanie and that, just stay clear of him. You know what I mean? Tell him a slap's pending. Right? So this is where you go. You get me? So this is my take on it. You know what I mean? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us a true understanding, because these are difficult times.
It's the best thing to have, isn't it? That is the best thing to have. Keeping yourself educated on what's going on, and just even if you just liking and sharing and all that kind of stuff shows support to the narrative. But I feel like the narrative changed so much now in the last 2 years. because everything is in 4K now, all recorded.
You know, I don't want to be one of those guys who sit here. As I mentioned again, I'm not a very
Yeah.
political guy. Whatever we try to do, we want to keep it grounded in Quran and Sunnah.
No,
I mean,
100%.
these 3 principles that I came out with, I never just pulled them out of my
No,
pocket.
100%.
You get me? These are all from the Quran and the Sunnah, and we just got to make sure that, look, when we come across a situation that is there, and look, what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the knowledge is there, but what did the Mufti Sahib just say now, that, you know, in he quoted the hadith of Abu Dawood Sharif, and he says that, you know, there's 2 ways of dealing with fitna. There's 2 ways of dealing with corruption, right? Either you go out and you be active and you campaign,
Yeah.
right? And you do what you can do to counter the fitna, or you stay silent. You look after yourself. These are the 2 ways of doing it. But the problem we have is the guys that should be vocal, they're being silenced. And the guys that should be silenced, they're being all vocal about it. Do you know what I mean? I made this video, yeah. Obviously, you know that GRT Monday,
GRT
so
videos, yeah.
So the GRT interview that we had
Yeah.
with that brother, he had a very beautiful name. What was his name?
Oh yeah, I remember.
He had a
No,
very
it wasn't
beautiful.
that nice actually. It was just no, no, but yeah, Mullet, and he was a Mullet, but Ateiq Rahman, it was exactly the same.
Yeah. So he had a
Wasn't
very
even
nice
the-
name. I'm sure his name was Ateiq, yeah.
Yeah, Ateiq.
So shout out to brother Ateiq, mashallah. So he came down. So what I did was I clipped, and the whole point of that interview was to shine a light on the charity, because they came under the kasha. My approach wasn't to be all nicey. My approach was to be, let's get to the bottom of this. So let's turn up the heat a little bit. Let's make let's ask the right types of questions and let's get the right types of answers. So I said to him that, look, you say one thing on your website and then you mention something else, you know, in person. So what's going on over here? So I tried to get clarity. Somebody has just watched the first part of that clip and already started commenting. They never even watched the full 3-minute clip that I posted up on there. And even when they did, because of their lack of understanding, okay, they just started going off on a rampage against them. They started phoning me up and saying, yeah, started phoning me up, oh, brother, what's going on, man? You know, it takes a very negative tone on it.
Oh, you mean GRT?
Yeah. And I says to them, yeah, I says, but look, it's a very balanced video. I go, did you watch the video? He goes, yeah, we saw the video. I go, do you think anything bad? And he goes, no. I go, yeah, but I can't control, you know, the masses now. The people are going to interpret things the way they want, and it's my duty to put it out there, right? But unfortunately, the way the world is right now, many people they don't have enough knowledge about them. Some people are turning around saying, it doesn't matter as long as your intention is right. My brother, if it all came down to intention, right, then what was the point of us making the video in the first place? What was the point of me even posting it? I would say, here you go, Ishak, take, you know, my zakat money and do what you want with it. But it's not that. We're all liable, aren't we? So these people, they don't even know what they are liable for when it comes to paying their own zakat. And if you don't even have that much of knowledge that you are responsible for your own zakat, but yet we feel brave enough and knowledgeable enough to start commenting our own views without checking it with nobody, without reading a book, without sitting at the feet of scholars, without taking it.
I saw the comments on that video. It was really, some of them were really silly. Like, they got no understanding of the way zakat works, and they just say it.
And then people are saying to me, oh, why don't you respond to them?
You can respond to all 100.
I said, I can't, man. There's about 300-400 comments on there now, and I'm supposed to be sitting here now and just commenting to all of them. No, you get me? I've put it out there. The most I can say is go back and watch the full video. But people don't want to do that. We sit here, talk for an hour, right? And then we get a couple of 100 views, right? I put up like a 1-minute clip, it gets a couple of 1,000 views. This is where the mind works now. People have got TikTok brains now. They can't concentrate for the full hour. But yet we're gonna sit here now, doom scroll, you get me, and comment on anything. This time I got so many private messages as well, you know, this, that. I'm thinking, come on, fam. You get me? This isn't even worthy a response, you get me?
What kind of private messages though regarding the GRT situation?
Like, who are you to talk about this? You know, why don't you study
Why
Why don't you do that? I'm
Why
thinking,
don't you
bro.
study?
I'm thinking, bro. I read Hidayah, Quduri. You get me? Nurul Idah, right? I'm studying right now Badayo Sanai, Raddul Mukhtar, and now you want me to like? I know I do need to study, and I am studying. You know what I mean? The whole reason why we started this podcast in the first place is to make sure that there are people that know what they're talking about, who are
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about topics. You got mans out there that got this much. You get me? A drop of nothingness, right? They don't have an answer, and they're talking about topics which are beyond them. The whole reason why we started this was to give ulama the platform, give learned people the platform. And if Mufti Saab didn't, think that I was worthy of hosting the show, I wouldn't even be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, yeah, of course I need to study, but of course, and I will remain a student, talib al-ilm, you get me, regardless of what title you give me, right? I'm going to stay a student of knowledge, hopefully, inshallah, for the rest of my life. But you don't even know me, but now you're feeling brave enough to message me and say, who are you?
We're laughing because we're sarcastic laughing. We don't know he's done. If he's done his Alamiya course, he's studying iftā. He's constantly studying every day. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we find it funny that someone that can randomly on the internet say to him, "What credentials do you have, bro?"
I don't, because I don't go on like your noble.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Shape. You get me?
You don't wear your certificate on your sleeve. Innit?
Exactly. So I don't go around there and say, "Oh,
You know, in the new studio, we frame your certificate. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
bro.
frame
Nah,
it.
you know what? Just get a mug, yeah, with his name on it.
With the
Mufti.
name on it.
Yeah,
Mufti.
Mufti
Oh,
Ateiq
okay,
on
yeah.
it.
We get something in the back that just certifies you, and
We get something on
we
there,
make
bro.
sure it's right next to your head, on it. So when you clip it, like it says Mufti Ateiq right there.
But
You know
look,
what
it's
I
a
mean?
case of like, even I say, I'm your host, brother Ateiq. You understand? I don't class myself as that. I don't want to be known as that, but at least do a little bit of homework, bro. If you're gonna come and cast stones in my direction, otherwise you're not even worthy of an answer. Do you know what I mean? And I am a nobody. Do you know what I mean? I have zero knowledge. There's people over here, mashallah, Maulana Sahib over there, Sheikh over here. They got way, way, way more knowledge than I have. But it's a case of like, just do your homework, fam. Just do your homework again before you come. And if you're gonna come try it, fam, then at least have the courage and the minerals. You get me?
These comments, they're just all just wish-wash. I don't know when the ulama sees another ulama doing something that he doesn't agree with, the kind of message that, because I've seen the messages that another Maulana comes to the institute and messages, it's a very different type of message. It's very articulated very well, and no ulama will just like come up to someone and say, "Oh, you should do like this." We very reluctantly, or no, I don't know what I'm saying we, but ulama that I've seen very reluctantly, it's like forced. It's against their nature to be like, I'm Mufti this and that, and I'm saying, you know what I'm trying to say? It's against your nature to correct someone, but out of the hadith, and you know what you have to do as a good Muslim, as your responsibilities of your titles, you're forced to come and say, sorry, brother, but just to let you know, this is what I know, and you know what I mean. So when a awam come to you, you can very clearly tell that it's just a guy who has no zero knowledge and.
But you can't, at the same time, you can't help it because if you're gonna put yourself in this social media sphere, then you're gonna be prone to it. And people, you're open to criticism, and I'll take criticism all day long. Do you know what I mean? I ain't fussed, bro, one bit. And inshallah, we see what happens. But on that note, I actually, alhamdulillah, completed my dissertation.
What was the topic?
Wait, let me see if I can remember. Was it still on the boxing thing?
No. Nah, that's Mufti.
That was Mufti Sibgatullah's. He done it on combat sports.
Because I know you mentioned it.
I did, at the beginning. Right at the beginning, I was gonna do it on that because we were talking about those topics of like combat sports and punching in the face and this, that, and the other, and is it permissible? But when I looked into it, I realized that there's very little information out there. You understand? I don't want to be the one to put it out there. Do you know what I mean? And then when I learned that Mufti Sibghatullah was already doing it, and he was obviously my senior, I can't then turn around and do that. So I thought, okay, let's leave that to him. he can do that. So I didn't mind on urf.
Oh, okay.
And people don't know what urf is. So urf is like custom. So I didn't mind on the origin of urf and its application in modern day fiqh. So
Can you explain the word to me before what urf means?
Urf is custom.
Custom, just custom.
You get me? So for example, and I like to give this example is, I'll give you a lift. What does that mean?
You're gonna take me somewhere.
But does that mean I'm physically gonna lift you up and
No,
carry you?
no.
Yeah. So according to the urf, it could be many things. So you know it.
Yeah.
So if I was to go to somewhere in mid Africa and if I was to say, Don't I'll give you a lift, and they're gonna say, You're not picking me up, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if I say to you, don't worry, food's on me today. What does that mean? That I'm gonna cover myself with food. Yeah. So it's like how words and phrases are used and things like that, and then also like over time how custom has, because not there's some nawazil, there are some modern day mas'alas that you can't they're not mentioned in the Quran in detail, they're not mentioned in the hadith specifically. So the Quran, the scholars have extracted certain legal maxims from the Quran and from the Sunnah to create, like a framework that, okay, you can only call something jaiz if it fits into this type of framework. So for example, if you're waiting in the shop now, right, you walk into the shop before me. Or let's say you walk into a barber shop, us three walk into a barber shop, you walk in first, you walk in second, and I walk in third. Right? There's somebody on the chair already. That person gets off the chair and I get up and go and sit on it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Say wait your turn kind of thing,
and I'm gonna say, well, there's no sign over here, bro.
Mm.
There's no signs in barber shops to
there's
say
no
first
sign.
come, first serve.
Exactly.
But what is it? It's a common understanding now.
Yeah.
You get me? So let's just say now that you kick off with me and this gets taken to court.
Okay.
And I say, well, I went and sat on the chair and this guy dragged me off. And you're gonna be like, but you're gonna be like, well, I got there first and I told him it's my turn first and he didn't listen. So the qazi isn't going to turn around now and say to the shopkeeper, to the barber shop, you get me, that did you have signs as a first? But no, it's this common understanding.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So little things like this, how obviously there's big major masalas as well involved as well. So for example, back a day, let's just say now there's a husband and wife, and the husband goes missing. Right?
Oh yeah.
Now the most common Hanafi principle is that this woman can't move on, can't remarry until it is beyond any shadow of a doubt that the husband is still alive. She's got to wait until it's expected for him to pass away.
Wow.
You hear me? Some say 90 years, some say 100 years, some say 110 years she has to wait. You hear me? That was back then. You hear me? Then Imam Malik said, 4 years. They need to wait. So then, a while back, then the Ahnaf, they cut it down. They said, we're going to take the Maliki opinion now of waiting 4 years. But even that now, with today's modern technology of announcements and social media and press conferences and this, that, and the other, if you don't find a person within a couple of months, either they're dead or they don't want to be found.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now the scholars say, the ruling has changed. It's become a bit more relaxed now. But this is something that custom has dictated. Do you know what I mean? For example, you get married. They're all coming to my head now because I just completed my dissertation and
So that one would have been based on war.
What?
Like if your husband went missing.
What based on?
Not based on war, but it would have been about war. Like if
no. Just generally imagine he just goes on a trade journey and then doesn't come back.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now it wouldn't be relevant in it because of
now you can find out in it. Now you just go, put posters, missing person and this, that, and the other, track them down. You got, social media satellites, this, that, and the other. You get me? You can track a person down with, police can do an investigation. He used his card in this such and such ATM machine. You get me? In Thailand, we don't think this guy's coming back. Do you know what I mean?
You know why he's up to his card?
He's dip for me coming back.
Not coming back.
So, these sort of things, so alhamdulillah, that's finished in that. So if you want to check out my dissertation, guys,
Oh, so
it'll
it's
be available.
published?
No, it's not published
it's
yet.
not
It's got to go through peer
Yeah,
review
any
first.
mark, yeah.
Okay.
It's got to go through, it's got to go through all the, go through the red tape first, you get me?
Yeah.
Chances are they're going to probably chuck it back and say, bro, fix it up, you get me? Then
So
do.
what was the because the dissertation is just you're just speaking on that topic. There wasn't like a thing like is this allowed?
No, so the dissertation is you got to pick a niche topic
Yeah.
and you got to do research on that topic
Yeah.
and you got to explain it to the general public.
Oh, okay.
So you got to create your own dissertation, your own piece, right,
Yeah.
on something which can later then get published.
Okay.
So as part of the iftā program, we got to do 400 fatwas,
Yep.
right, over 2 years,
yeah.
and we got to do the 12,000 word
I know that.
dissertation.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get all your exams and stuff in between, and then all the books that you have to study. And then obviously Mufti Saab has to have the final say. You get me? He assesses you, this, that, and the other. Are you competent? Are you not competent? But previously, what would happen is somebody would become a Mufti, and that's it now. They'll just go out there and say, okay, I'm a Mufti, I'm a Mufti, I'm a Mufti. But bro, you became a Mufti, and then you started working in Tesco's. You get me? And then you haven't been issuing any fatwas. You haven't been on your studies. You haven't been doing this, that, and the other. And now 5 years have passed. Times have changed. Mas'alas have changed. New things have come up. You haven't stayed up to date with your research. So how now can you carry on calling yourself a Mufti?
Yeah, you can't.
You get me? You can't. Let's just say now somebody becomes, even a security guard.
Yeah.
Every 2 years you got to go and renew your license in it because standards have changed, new policies have come out, things like that. So I reckon we need to do the same thing when it comes to the iftā program
Yeah,
over
my
here at least.
brother-in-law's a doctor, and they are constantly getting tests like all the time.
Yeah, so everything changes in the
constantly,
new research out there. You can't just carry on calling yourself a doctor now, and the new, the medicine has changed. The devices and the instruments that you're using have changed. The machines and the scanners, all this has changed. You gotta be up to date with the latest research. Only then can you continue to call yourself a doctor. So sometimes I see some people now that says, yeah, he's Mufti and that, and I says, when did you qualify? 5 years ago. And I'm thinking, okay, but are you doing any sort of peer review now? Are you still working with people, this, that, and the other? So my intention would be, obviously, complete this course, inshallah, hopefully this year. But then obviously stay, here at Darul Ilm, stay with Mufti Saab, carry on doing it, and, keep up the research. Because, we get, if you just go to the Darul Iftā Birmingham website, you will see that on a daily basis it gets thousands of hits. Thousands of people come on every day. The other day, Maulana Ateiq, he was looking at it and he's like, bro, it's funny. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, we've already had 2,000 people who have checked
the website.
the website.
He says it on the right.
And then we have constantly, we got a live clicker there, that comes in how many people have checked it. And then people are checking out a fatwa, this, that, and the other. And sometimes the fatwa that we probably gave 5 years ago needs updating.
Okay.
So an example of that would be a while ago, Mufti Saab gave a fatwa about sisters working in the medical sector and wearing short sleeve,
tops.
Like they have to wear those, what they call the
nurse gown or whatever.
They have to wear their gown, right? So you could get long sleeve ones and you can get short sleeves ones. So Mufti Saab gave the fatwa that no, you need to wear the long sleeve ones. But then since then, new laws have been implemented by the NHS that now you can't wear long sleeve ones anymore. Everyone has to wear short sleeves.
You don't know that.
When it comes, when they're working inside the hospital and when they're dealing with patients, you have to wear short sleeves, to reduce risk of infection and this, that, and the other, and to make sure that you got your gloves on and all this type of stuff. But short sleeve now, so now sisters working in the NHS, they don't even have the option now of wearing long sleeves. So we had a question come through. You hear me? What do you do? So I had to reevaluate. So I looked at Mufti Saab's fatwa and I said, okay, back then it was okay, but now we have to update this now. You understand? So then we had to renew it and say, listen, this is a two-sided coin over here. We do need sisters working inside the NHS. You hear me? If I take my wife or my daughter to the hospital now, I don't want a male doctor looking. I want a female. But at the same time, I can't now turn around and say, no, my sisters and my aunties, whatever, they can't work as a nurses in the hospital because of this rule. So then we say that, listen, as much as you can, right, you should keep your arms covered, right? Maybe you can look at transparent sleeves. You get me? Maybe you can look at something else. Is there anything there? Maybe you can go and campaign and lobby with the hospitals. You understand? And then if you can't and you've tried all other avenues, then okay, you can wear those tops, but that's only when you're working. That doesn't mean that you can go off into the break room and you can go and grab something from your car and this, that, and the other, and have all your arms exposed all day long because you're there. No, you do what you need to do, and then when you're in your break room, then you put a cardigan on or you put something on, you cover your arms. It's only when you're going and dealing with a patient then you be like that.
It's weird because I'm sure my sister has her arms covered at work. I'm sure she does. But khalas, it is what it is. I was saying, with the fatwas though, how does it work? As in, when the fatwas come, after you graduate now, how do you because I know the ones who are studying get sent the fatwas. How does it work if you want to carry on doing fatwas?
So there's two, because some of the questions come through on the website, and then some get text through WhatsApp through, some come through on the phone.
So many.
So that's why sometimes you'll say, "Oh, go give him the phone, give him the phone," and whatnot. You know what I mean? So they come in, and then you just deal with them. So that's one way of doing it. You can stay up to date then. And like if you know the answer, then you just give them the answer, right? And if you don't know the answer, okay, put a pin in that. I'll get back to you. Then you go away, you do the research, and you come back. You save their details, and you phone them back. Thank you for your question. We've done the research. We've consulted with other muftis, and this is the answer. That way of doing it. The other way of doing it is actually reviewing the fatwas that the iftā students are doing. So so whoever's in year 1 and year 2 now, all of our fatwas, we don't just write them and then boom, they go onto the website, they get reviewed. So Mufti Tamim, Mufti Naeem, Mufti Safraz, all these guys, they review them. Mufti Tawseed Mia himself used to review them now, but obviously there's so much now and he's got so much teaching, he's now delegated it, right? And then he then reviews it. So they go through like a vetting process and then he signs it off. Otherwise, he ain't going to say checked and approved by Mufti Tawseed Mia at the. So it all says there, it says this fatwa was answered by and then checked and approved by Mufti Tawseed Mia. So they all get reviewed. So then what we can do is to save Mufti Saab's time, we can say, okay, Mufti Saab, listen, we've already, reviewed these fatwas. We think they're okay. And then he gives them. So we do the Nazar Sani. He does another Nazar after that. He just looks at it and just says, what? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's correct. You get me? Or no, it's not. Sometimes things can get through. Imagine you write a fatwa, right? And you think, okay, you've done all the due diligence, but you don't know what the rest of it. I can't remember what the fatwa was. The fatwa was something about, let's just say you have a chicken, right? Somebody slaughters a chicken.
Okay.
And they chuck the chicken whole inside of the pot and they cook the chicken like that.
Okay.
Is that chicken halal?
But it's been done like Zabah, everything correct.
Well, this is it. Zabah and everything. So Zabah is the first thing. The next thing is gutting it.
Yeah, the blood.
You hear me? So there's certain parts of the animal that you can't have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You hear me? So there's certain, like the intestines.
That has to be
the stomach sac.
Okay.
These things like that, these things have to be removed.
Yeah.
The genitalia.
Yeah.
All of this stuff has to be removed. Yeah. Right? And then, but now you just chucked it all in there, and without removing it, now you just chucked like a chicken in there, and it's got all the filth in the stomach, and now the filth in the stomach has come out mixed with the meat. This and that. How can you call it like that?
So it's haram then.
But this is it. So then it went through, and then they say, okay, in different parts of the world, they have different things. So in some parts of the world, what they do is they kill the chicken, they chuck it into the fryer just for a little bit, and then they take it out with the boiling water for a little bit, and then they put it out white because then it's easier to skin.
Yeah.
They skin it after.
So then they do it, then they skin it after, and then they take all the parts, and then you do it. So you can't just give it a straightforward. Then because let's just say the person says, it's haram. And then, the guys, because you can't just say it's haram. You got to just say, no, these are the conditions that it has to fulfill. Then it will be halal. Or then it will be haram, etc., etc., etc. So then it goes through. I remember we had to sit down. Now you got like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, drop shipping, blockchains. Bro, they don't tell you about blockchains. You get me?
In the
iftā courses 50 years ago.
Yeah.
That guy who became a mufti, 20 years ago, You can't go to him now and ask him about blockchains. You can't go to him now and ask him about Bitcoin or Dogecoin or this coin or that coin. You gotta ask somebody who's relevant and somebody who's done the studies. So we had to do like a whole seminar, you get me, on blockchain technologies, on Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies. Is it mal? Is it not mal? You get me?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay zakat on it? Don't you have to pay zakat on it? Is it, can you give sadaqah on it? All of this stuff. So you got to be on the ball. But if you're not up to date with all of this regular type of stuff, so that's why, it's a very precarious situation. You can't just say, okay, I'm a mufti now, boom. Nah, mate. If you want to call yourself a mufti, then you got to stay engaged. You got to stay up to date with all the relevant fatwas, this, that, and the other. This 12.5% of charities that they're taking. You get me? This is something that you got to know about it. Okay, yeah, it was written by, Mufti Shafi Saab gave a fatwa back then. Okay, but what are today's muftis saying?
Is that what they said? And then did you find out?
What?
With GRT, if you wrote the original fatwa, did you find out? No.
No, I don't know. I don't know who wrote it. The way they worded it was a bit like cryptic. That's why when I chopped it all up, I made sure it was clear.
Yeah.
He mentioned ulama's names, but then he also mentioned the fact that this Sharia compliance committee is new. It's only been 2 months, but this policy was written back in COVID, so it just never added up.
I remember that podcast. I remember you being a bit serious, but then after I was like, yo, he's being a bit aggressive, and in my head,
I don't think I was being aggressive, bro. Yeah.
He was, because I was like, yo, this is a nice, sweet conversation, and now he's gone fully left. I was like, what's going on here, bro?
It went from, you got such a nice name.
Nah,
bro,
we went from like the stories of me in Sudan and these old women making dua for me, and I'm like, subhanallah, subhanallah. And then out of nowhere, just like, so tell me about your fatwa policy. And then, but then halfway through, like, after like 10 minutes, I was like, you know what? This is a serious topic, though. It's your zakat, man. I was like, no,
it's important. Yeah.
You have to drill him. I was like, yo, it's not a joke, kind of. Like, 5 pillars of Islam, like.
It's deep, man.
And then so many people are thinking, yo, if I give these like my zakat, I can trust them. Like, and thinking my responsibility is done, but it's not, is it? So,
so alhamdulillah, look, we touched on some good topics today. We touched on, the importance of knowledge and how you got to stay inside the field to be able to comment on certain things. And we also spoke about, some of the current events, that are going on, because we don't really address politics, because this isn't a show that, we want to like be like politicians and discuss what's going on in the world, because truly no one really knows what's going on in the world out there, right? We just got to try our best and make sure that any decisions that we make and any sides that we're picking up is rooted in Quran and the Sunnah, which is why, guys, it's so important to try to affiliate yourselves with some sort of Islamic establishment. If you're local, you can pop down to Darul. There's so many other places dotted around Birmingham and beyond, Blackburn, Dewsbury, Kidderminster, Nottingham, all of these places, there's somebody there, right, that you should be able to affiliate yourself with and go and ask your question to the right types of people. Guys, any other questions?
I mean, before we finish, we're going to be 15 days, well, I think today's 15th day of Ramadan, so 50% in. So why don't you give everyone some advice if they haven't taken the most of Ramadan, then
wait, the most of it, boys. You only got 15 days left.
I'll give you a really good tip. I'll give you a really good tip that he told me. Yeah, if you have the 15-line Quran, you only need to read 4 pages after every salah for it to be a para, and that is a good trick, man. I can't lie. It feels so easy, and then you read one para and you'll be like, you know what? This is so quick, I can read 2 paras a day. You know what I mean? And then slowly.
Obviously, you get through the Quran, inshallah, do as much as you can. And guys, don't forget, man, we need a new studio.
Oh, yeah.
Look, man, my lamp's gone, man.
No, show it properly, and show it like, because you see at the right angle, then it's bent.
Oh, it's bent, yo, what the heck?
Go bust up my lamp, man. Guys, come on, man. I got this from Turkey, and the whole reason why I got it, because I thought it looks a bit like a pomegranate. Yeah, the way it's shaped and stuff. I thought it looks like a pomegranate, you get me? So I got this for that. And guys, look, we need a new studio, man. I can't blame you. Look, we have like a SEN madrasa up here on the weekends, you get me? We don't even have a proper studio. This stuff now, we're going to pack it away soon. And it's a case of like, anyone can come in, people are going to throw stuff around, things are going to get broken. Mufti Sahib has kindly allowed us to use one of the storerooms, so we're emptying that out. We want to fix it all up. We're going to put the donation link, inshallah, underneath. Please, guys, if you got a spare £5, of course you got a spare £5, you get me? Even less than a burger meal nowadays, right? All that we're asking for, and make a little bit of a donation, inshallah. Once we get, at least £2,500, inshallah, £2,500, we can start. It's going to cost us more than that to do it. But inshallah, Darul Ilm has promised, that anything addition to that, what we need, it'll try and support us the best way possible. But, we need your support, man. We've been sitting on this floor, for the last year, and we need to upgrade it, inshallah. We need new lights, man. Look, these lights are falling apart. That one over there, bro, it looks like it's been through war. You know what I mean? We're going to send this to Iran tomorrow, right? Astaghfirullah, you get me? It's to, just for their reporters and stuff over there, fam. And,
what are we on at the moment on the GoFundMe? I put it out the other day and it was doing okay.
It's doing alright-ish, you get me? But it can do a lot better, man. We're at, just under £1,000 now. We need to obviously pump it up a bit. If you want to make a donation, if you want to drop off cash, come hit me up. I'm here at Darul. You give me most days in Ramadan anyways, and come and support us. So hopefully, inshallah, after Ramadan, we can start fixing up this new studio of ours, man.
If you can get us to 2,200, I'll buy this old stuff for like 300.
Nah, fam, you're not buying this.
What do you mean? Where's it gonna go?
What do you mean, where's it gonna go, bro? This got sentimental value.
That's what I'm saying, man. What are you gonna take it?
No.
Keep it.
What I'm thinking is, in the storeroom, what we want to do is we want to make half of it a library, and half of it the studio, innit?
Yeah.
So anyone who accesses the library, they need a place where they can nicely sit down and read.
You want to use this? Okay, I thought we were gonna give them proper chairs and stuff.
No, we're gonna.
This is way better.
This is way better. When you're reading and you're studying, you want to be on the floor. Do you know what I mean? Closer to the ard.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yes. Okay, we can use this as well. Why not?
Yeah. So there's something. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Because if anyone's gonna take it, bro, I'll take it.
I'll buy it, man. I'll buy it and put it in the studio. This is good, man. This is good. It's got a lot of sense. A lot of ulama.
Or we might just auction it off. Think about that.
That's not a bad idea, man.
You get me? The amount of ulama have sat here, barkat wala sofa, this has got some barkat in here, right? So we'll auction it off. Why not?
This Christian one. Wait, one of the Christians, I guess swapped in it every time.
So you got Ustad barkat there, bro.
Yeah, Ustad barkat.
I tell you what, if you want to make an offer on this stuff, put your offers in the comments section, and that we'll consider them. But it does have a lot of sentimental value. Just look to all the episodes. Mashallah, we had some heavy, not physically heavy, knowledgeable heavy. Yeah, Mufti Tawseed Mian, mashallah, has been on here. Mufti Abdurrahman Manghera's been on here. Do you know what I mean? Yasir al-Hanafi, Sheikh Yasir al-Hanafi's been on here. Mufti Liaqat Zaman has been on here. Mufti Ismail Sati has been on here, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so,
Mufti Abdul Malik, like so
all of them, so many Muftis, Mufas, you get me?
Yeah, man.
You got,
that's what I was like, I'm going to buy it.
Ishak. You understand?
Yeah.
He spilled tea on it earlier as well, so we're going to leave those stains on it, just for memorabilia. Okay, guys, inshallah, jazakumullah khair for your time, guys. I know mashallah your time is precious. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your sitting on Iţtikāf. Remember us in your du'as. Remember the Muslims all around the world, inshallah, especially those in Palestine, Sudan and beyond. Anywhere there's any type of suffering, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate the sufferings of the Muslims, wherever they may be. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us in the company of the pious. Inshallah, I will see you in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.